Hi guys, here we are again in Unit 2, Systems of Linear Equations. We're in Tier 3, and we are down now to Lesson 4, which is a word problem. This word problem's pretty intricate. It's a chemistry word problem. A scientist wants to make 6 milliliters of a 30% sulfuric acid solution. The solution is to be made from a combination of 20% sulfuric acid solution and a 50% sulfuric acid solution. How many milliliters of each solution must be combined to make the 30% solution? So the first thing we want to do is we want to define our variables from our information that we know. Well, we know we want to make a 6 milliliter solution. We know that some amount of A solution plus some amount of B solution is going to give us a 6 milliliter solution. That's where A is our 20% and B is our 50%. So that's the first thing we know. Now that we know this equation, we have our first equation of our linear system to solve this scientific problem. Now, let's think about this for just a second, and we realize that our second equation is going to be with A, that's a 20% solution, so 0.20 times A, plus our 50% solution, the amount of our B, is going to equal our 30% solution times 6. So what we have now is we have 0.2a plus 0.5b is equal to 1.8, which is 6 times 0.3, and this is our equation number 2. Now that we have equation number 2, what we want to do is we want to go up here and solve for one of our variables from equation number 1. Let's just solve for a. A is equal to 6 minus b, and we can take this value and now plug it in to our second equation. So we can get 0.2 times 6 minus b plus 0.5b equals 1.8. And we get 1.2 minus 0.2b plus 0.5b equals 1.8. Now we can combine like terms here, again, because we have the same variable and the same exponent. So we get 1.2 plus 0.3b equals 1.8. We want to subtract 1.2 from both sides. So we get 0.3b is equal to 0.6. Divide both sides by 0.3 to get our b value. We have b equals 2. So now all we have to do, now that we have b equals 2, is to take that value, plug it back into equation 1, which is a plus b, which we found to be 2, is equal to 6. So we subtract both sides by 2 to find our a, and we get a is equal to 4. But now we have to answer the question. And the question is, how many milliliters of each solution must be combined to make the 30% solution? So we need 4 milliliters of 20% solution and 2 milliliters of 50% solution to make a 6 milliliter solution of 30%.